Well, welcome to the Hey Techies show. I hope everybody is having a great night. And with me tonight, I get to announce the Guru is back.
Hey, I'm back.
We're back in Studio B, as we like to say.
I missed y'all dearly.
Yeah, weekend's written all over your face.
I did.
I'm so glad to be back.
And, of course, Bruce is back for sure. Yes, Bruce is back. Bruce is back, baby.
I want to do it so
Bruce
bad.
is back. Who cares? I'm just kidding.
Oh, Guru's got his sound effects back.
That's right. I got my sound effects back, yeah.
Well,
I challenge you, instead of me doing that, you find like a clip and play it. Guru, that's your challenge.
A clip of what?
What I've been saying for the last 20 minutes.
I don't have much of it recorded, so, yeah,
No.
sorry.
What? No, I'm talking. Never mind.
Okay.
a clip of what you...
Yeah, what I've been screaming the entire time I've been here.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Well, you should go ahead.
Tis the season.
Go
No,
ahead.
No,
No.
it's
We
forced.
want to.
No.
The Olympics are going on, and we
Yeah.
talked about it last week a little bit. So what is your Olympic cheer?
My Olympic cheer. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up, it's bobsled time.
Wow.
Cool runnings.
Okay, that's probably distorted. That's excellent, though.
Sanka,
That's going to be a good sound effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to clip that out.
Yes.
And we'll re-record it.
Well, yeah, please.
No,
please do.
it's probably okay here.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll do it at the end of the show, so we'll have
Yeah.
a
Did
good
you
clean
get? You
recording
did
of it.
get a new one. What did you have the old one last week? His
What?
recorder.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was using it.
I'm back. I get to use the fancy one tonight.
that is fancy.
You
Have you
know,
recorded like without it hooked up to something? Just
Yeah, it works.
I've done tests, but not.
It does
like-
is
work.
it clear? Like if you were to put
Yeah.
it on the table and we were just talking, would it
I
be
don't
good?
know.
We're talking about a recorder here that we use for the show, and Guru uses other things. I'm just trying to explain it,
Yeah. Well, he could just hold it up.
But we hope you've had a great week.
Show everybody.
Now, while you're hearing this, if you just happen to come across, because here, guys, this is what's going to happen. Our show is going to now run. What's so funny?
You're gonna be like, our show is brought to you.
No, it's not. It's going to now run on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. because of softball and baseball.
Sports.
Yeah. So, but we're going to still get it in. So the rewind will run from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. before the events, and there may be some earlier, and we might get bumped still. But I think most of them don't really start till about noonish or after. I don't think they get Mike Paris up that early. So, love you, Mike. No, but seriously, the Hey Techie show is glad to be back on recording. It's not back on, would be a tape delayed back on the air, I guess, in a way. And we've me and Bruce had two shows where we did not have the Guru, missed him dearly.
And I've actually listened to both of those, and they were not that good. I'm just kidding.
No,
they're really good.
Yeah, we struggled.
There were several times I wanted to interject my comments.
Well,
but
see,
of
there
course
you
it was
go.
a recording, so I couldn't.
Well, you could, yeah.
What are you talking about tonight?
Yeah, if you got something you want to bring up from last week.
Like the Apple battery gate. Like I've got a lot to say.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I know. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, man, a lot.
We got all kind of stuff.
Y'all mentioned SpaceX.
We got
Y'all mentioned.
We're gonna mention Project Fi tonight.
Oh, we got a
Ooh.
Project Fi update. You better stay tuned for that.
You're talking about the Nest stuff, which
yeah.
I got opinions about that. But yeah,
And Guru has a new product.
Yes,
he's
I do.
going to talk about
I
tonight.
do.
So we need to, do not go anywhere. And I say tonight. We're recording this tonight, but it will be replayed for most everybody during the day on Sunday. So if you're just tuning in and you've never heard the Hey Techie Show, we chat about tech news. We try to take calls when we're in studio, but we not in studio, so it's not that. But if you want to contact us, heytechieshow.com, that's our website. And at heytechieshow.com, you can also send us email questions at heytechieshow.com, and we will
email. What's that?
We will be. Yeah. Well, that is a good point.
Tweet us, snap
Yeah,
us.
you could do the. We have Twitter.
We don't have a Snapchat.
I have Snapchat. Hey Techie's my icon. No, not Snapchat. Dadgummit, Bruce.
Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you. Not Snapchat.
We should create a Snapchat.
Well, you create it.
You create it.
I've created enough.
You
and
create
keep,
it and you
and
can
keep
monitor
up
it.
with it. Yeah. We
So,
keep. Yeah.
That's
there
your.
you go.
That's now your job.
That's your one. Your one thing. There you
My
go.
one
There you
thing.
go, Bruce.
You have one job.
It's not going to happen.
Don't expect to see it anytime
No,
soon.
I know. What was that one thing you did? You did get on one time.
Yik yak.
Yik yak. That
Was hilarious.
Is that still a thing?
I think it's gone.
Is it gone? Okay.
It was great. 'Cause
Went
you
to
could be
wait.
anonymous. You could just sit there and watch and listen. It was.
Yeah, but I think it turned out to not be anonymous, right?
No, later on they
later
wanted
on.
you to create
Correct,
a username
right.
and stuff
Right.
like that. So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but man, it was funny when it was there because you could just kind of sit and watch.
Sure. I mean, we got all kind of things to cover. There's some phone news or handset news, if you will. I mean, I just got a slew of things like this, Bruce. What about this early on? Did you know that in Detroit, okay, the city of Detroit, they have come up with some legislation which they are trying to ban Airbnb
I have seen that.
with certain domiciles.
Yep.
However, because there has been a little uproar, an update to that is that they have the city council has put it on hold for a period of time
Did not hear that.
till they look at the legality of it.
Probably smart.
Well, here's what's interesting though. Here in this article I've got from actually it's Detroit.curb.com. I just happened to come across it. They say the new ordinance was a direct result of community concerns and was approved after 2 public hearings and after a coordinated effort between the administration, city council, city planning commission, the law department, another group called BSEED. And then it said, we listened to residents who were concerned about the integrity of their neighborhood and it becoming a de facto high-traffic hotel district.
So some of that's understandable.
Yeah, some of it is, but
So I want to say some areas in California, I want to say it's like, it may just be California in general, but I know like Joshua Tree and all those type areas, and don't quote me on this, but I want to say like you have to live in that residence for like 6 months and 1 day out of the year. Like you have to, that has to be majority used for personal use, and then you can rent it out and not be fall under the same.
The units they were referring to are what they call R1 and R2 zones, which would be
Yes, I knew
single
they had
family
zones.
and duplexes.
Yeah. But see, then you have a lot of people who can just come, instead of developing an actual hotel or something,
Right.
they'll just come in, buy these as homes, and then rent them out all year.
But
yeah.
here's the thing,
And then
though.
it just becomes a commercial property,
Yeah.
but not.
Well,
but
I found
they're
out
not making taxes off the
Guru
commercial
pointed
property and
out
stuff like that.
there is some
Well-
like commercial property on there.
Well, here's
in a
the
way.
thing, though. At least in Alabama,
Yeah.
the way property tax with residences work is
Yeah.
your residence, your
primary
sorry,
residence.
yes. I'm make sure my watch is not going to make any noises. You can claim what's called a homestead exemption, which lowers the tax rate.
Yeah.
You're still paying taxes, but you're paying it at a rate that's more equitable for you because you live there. And if you don't claim homestead exemption, you can only do that on one property.
Yeah.
So any other subsequent properties you own that you're not claiming homestead own, they charge you a higher rate.
Yeah.
So if you had another house, let's say, and you rented it out for whatever, whether you rented out somebody long term or
Yeah.
Airbnb'd it or
Yeah.
whatever, you're going to pay more property
Yeah.
tax on it
Yeah.
because it is an investment property.
Yep.
I don't know how it works in California or Detroit, but I mean, the county, the state, and all that's going to make more money off of that property from this property tax alone, not counting if they start changing. That's what I was telling you earlier today, Michael, is I can see the concerns
Yeah.
of the folks in Detroit and the people that live in these neighborhoods, but if you do it right, you can make sure that lodging tax is charged, like if you were staying at a hotel,
Sure.
11, 12, 14, whatever the percentage
Okay.
is. And that's another windfall for the city to help offset in the resources that's going to have to be expended because you have a lot of people in and out
It's
versus
a commercial district rather than a residential district.
Right. And you tax it appropriately.
But you don't tax the person in that district at
No.
the same rate when it's their home.
Here's a little
Right.
data right before we shoot the break here. Detroit 2017 data includes, it says 430 active Airbnb hosts, 50% simply share an extra unused room. They welcomed 4,700 guests, according to this, over
That's
a
not
year
that
in 2017.
Over a whole year?
2017. like all of them total. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know.
That doesn't seem like a whole
Host
lot.
earned 5.2.
4,700.
The host earned 5.2 million in income.
That's like 12 or 13 a day. Out of all of them.
Yeah, no, all of that just doesn't seem
That's
like a
not-
whole lot.
Typically,
Doesn't seem like a
Detroit
problem.
host earns
Maybe they're just trying to get ahead of it.
6,600 annual through home sharing. Now, this, I don't know. This is,
I don't understand this. We've talked about this. The whole
And if you share part of your home, you may be getting, homestead or whatever lower rate because it's your residence, but there needs to be some way of recouping some tax for the city to help offset.
ownership's going away, my friend.
I mean,
these numbers cannot be right.
I don't
No.
agree with them just completely shutting them down. It's
these-
just like the
What?
taxi drivers not wanting Uber and Lyft at all because it's taken into their business.
except for in cities where taxis have to go through they have to jump so many hurdles to get that.
I know it's regulated in a
Ability
lot
to
of
be-
cities, and
And they're just like, well, we're just going to start sharing.
I get 4,700 guests, and you've earned 5.2 million.
depends on the amount.
Nah,
Staying in some ritzy places.
my goodness.
$500 a night.
You sure it's not $4,700 a month?
None, well, it doesn't say that. It says in 2017. I don't know. Well, anyway, we will find out. Or we might not. Who knows? Hey, Techie Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
I am jamming out
A
on
little
my
sledgehammer.
headphones. So,
Yes.
I know y'all have the mainstream carriers, the big blue and big red.
Well, of course. I mean,
What else would we have?
Maybe Project Fi.
What's that? No, I'm just kidding.
And
Go ahead with Project Fibers.
I will say this: I don't know if I'll stay with it forever. It's gonna be hard to leave it though, because they keep getting better.
Okay.
But now, what I'm about to say that they're offering, I wouldn't necessarily use, because if I was gonna leave this country, this phone would not come with me.
Oh, yeah.
I would get a burner.
Yeah, burner phone. Yeah.
But Google's Project Fi now offers data coverage in 170 countries. I can take this anywhere in those 107 countries and make a phone call, and it doesn't cost me any extra.
Right.
Well, that's good.
It also doesn't cost extra for data. It's still my same.
It's like you're here.
It's just like I'm here.
Right.
That to me is
I
amazing.
wonder what countries there are.
170 of them out of the.
Well,
what?
I mean, what countries though? I mean, don't call them all out. Let me see if I can Google this real quick. I see.
I got some related stories to go with this.
And depending on how you count, there's a little less than 200 countries. I mean, they've almost got the entire world covered as far as countries go.
Right.
Um,
Well, that's
Belize.
excellent.
Belize is
Yeah.
one of them. I'm going to Belize in a little couple weeks.
There you go.
St. Martin, Nigeria, Monaco, Guam.
So,
A lot of places.
was that your update on Project Fi?
Yeah.
Have you just out of curiosity, because some of our listeners
Uzbekistan is on.
okay.
Who was
Maybe-
that? What was that guy's name? Ran for president. Was like the
I don't know.
the CEO of some pizza company or chicken company. or
What?
pizza chicken company? You remember
ran
him?
this last time?
No, years ago. I'll pull him up
No, please don't.
because he's at Uzbekistan.
Now you almost made me forget what I was going to say.
But
Anyway.
Uzbekistan is on there.
Well, anyway,
What was his name?
I don't know.
Ross Perot.
No,
Well, that's first. Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. Man, that's it.
I did a quick search.
Oh, he's-
but Ross
he-
Perot was the first result.
He's
so-
from there. What now?
No.
What did you're making? Whoa, I'm confused.
And never mind. I'll tell you during the break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
Herman Cain.
It was Herman Cain you were talking about.
Yeah,
Really?
Godfather's Pizza. That's the
Yeah.
company.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh yeah, I remember.
Thank
that.
you, Wikipedia.
But
He did. He Godfather's Pizza. Okay.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
Okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
so
Uzbekistan.
speaking of the Fi network, I'm curious. Have you noticed any better? Like for instance, coverage, same, similar.
So that's where I guess.
Works in 170 countries, but
But it definitely doesn't work over the bypass here.
okay.
Really?
I always drop there, and
I don't drop there.
shortly after they repositioned, well, they replaced and repositioned some radios just outside of Jacksonville,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they must have gotten some complaints because I think they fixed it.
Okay.
But between the places that I drive, it's there's still a few spots that I'm like, I don't have coverage here.
That's-
But within 2 or 3 minutes, I have coverage again.
So it's okay if you're driving, but like if your house happens to fall
to
in love,
fall in that,
then you're
well,
like
then you got
done.
Wi-Fi calling, right? But
maybe
I will say
it
this:
depends on where you live.
There's still a lot left for them to improve on. I'll say that.
Not everybody has Wi-Fi, Bruce. Nobody has high-speed internet at their house.
No. I'd just say if those
And
companies,
I'm not saying
if
by
those
choice,
companies, those
they
companies
can't
would
get it.
spend that money that they've been given tax breaks
Oh,
on
here we go.
No.
to expand the
Here we
infrastructure.
go. Here we go.
Well,
like they promised.
Here we go.
well,
I knew it was
agree.
coming.
I agree. Everybody should have access to broadband.
I agree.
It's
I
not. It's
absolutely-
not like
Hey,
breathing
Bruce
air.
and I actually agree on something.
Yeah, of course you do.
Do what now?
I said, of course, it's not like breathing air.
Uh,
Broadband. You mean it's not like water.
You're at
I
a
just- I don't know.
disadvantage without
you are
having access.
absolutely at a disadvantage. Apply
Yeah.
for a job. Go apply for a job and not have
Well, you
internet.
can go somewhere and do that. I'm not saying it's not. You're just acting like it's impossible. It's a death sentence.
It almost is.
Now, see, I don't see it that way.
All right.
I just don't.
We'll do an exercise later on.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't exercise, so I don't think it's going to happen.
All right.
I'm not doing jumping jacks in here, Bruce.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to mess my I don't want to mess anything.
Don't mess your hair up.
I don't want to mess my hair up.
Well,
Bruce, I'm not running a
talk about
marathon
it
around the
later. I'm
table.
just saying.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, you never know.
Our
No,
dose.
we won't do it on the air. I mean, it would be a personal thing. So he would.
Well, are you wanting me to turn my phone on
No.
airplane mode? Is that
No.
what you're wanting, Bruce?
No,
You want me to
no.
live in
It
destitute
it's
for a while?
It's a thought exercise.
Well, I'm already thinking about it.
Okay.
Oh.
Related to this, though, there is, and a long time been discussed about the 5G network.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of companion stories here. Qualcomm claims they already have 18 manufacturers ready to use the 5G modem next year.
I'm ready.
Do what? You're ready.
I said I'm
Bruce
ready.
is ready.
Well,
Number one
of
consumer.
these, Xiaomi's on there, Sony Mobile,
Is Bruce on there?
Sierra, Sharp,
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi, ZTE, Netgear, Netcom, LG,
Huawei.
HTC. I do not see Huawei on there.
Wow. I guess they're going to get hit pretty hard.
HMD Global, Nokia phones, Fujitsu, Asus.
Asus makes phones.
Well, apparently they're on here.
Well, they could be putting them in their computers too. Duh.
They could be. The source of this is Wintech.
About
Vivo.
Razer. Is Razer going to put them in their phones?
I don't know. Razer. Well, anyway, those are basically just a sort of a list, a rundown, if you will.
So Elon Musk don't have a company in that list?
I do not see.
He's letting other people take care of that.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
He's going to Mars, baby.
Indeed he is.
Him and his BFR.
Yeah.
Yes. He is.
Okay, so
What does that BFR stand for?
what now?
No, I'm just.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, also there, according to another article, this is in the CS Monitor. President Trump's national security team is looking at options to counter the threat of China spying on U.S. phone calls that include government building a super-fast 5G wireless network, according to senior administration officials.
Yeah. I knew of a company that was building out a wireless network, and they had to take bids on the radios for that, and Huawei way undercut the next bidder, like in half.
Actually, Huawei's mentioned in this article.
Yeah, whenever I got that phone, I told you I wasn't comfortable with it. And for certain, because I knew a lot about Huawei, and
Right.
but they decided to go with a more expensive one because of the risk involved. So don't always go for what's cheap.
Yeah.
Even though they probably had a superior product, to be honest.
Yeah,
'Cause, I
maybe.
mean,
Yeah.
Huawei makes some good, no doubt. They have stolen some great made some great technology. But you know, they.
Now, according to this, Bruce and Guru, AT&T is set to be the first to launch mobile 5G service in 12 U.S. locations.
See, so this is the problem with AT&T. They kind of did this thing with 4G, and I guarantee they're going to do it with 5G. Like whenever they were rolling out 4G, it was all 3G backhaul. And I'm like, well, there's no point. They're creating bottlenecks. Like, there's no point there. And that is what made Verizon the superior network at the time. Was their 4G was, well, granted it's LTE, but they were way ahead of AT&T on that game. And I felt like there was less false advertising from them, whereas AT&T was purely false advertising. So like our 4G network, it's like, no.
Well, I
from
see
me
what
to
you're...
the towers 4G, but
okay.
everything back behind that's 3G.
I see what you're saying on that.
And then they've caught up. But at the time, Verizon was investing in their infrastructure, which they're no longer doing.
Yeah. And, of course, a story, and we're just doing a little phone thing here, by the way, if you're wondering, a story that you shared with me, HTC.
Oh, man. I did not even finish reading that article.
Chief quits. It's not very long. There's not much to tell. Chief quits, okay? Their chief quits, and they're saying that it could be their last flagship phone. They may not be making handsets.
Well, we had said that Google had paid
yeah, right.
some crazy number for their developers. I'm like, what's to say they just want to go work somewhere else?
Yeah, right.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So there had to be a lot of intellectual property they got with that, not just the people.
I don't know. So
I don't know. Yeah, there had. I mean, just say, hey, sell us your workers. That can't be it. But
according to this article, sources familiar with HTC's roadmap have told The Verge that the next major phone launch for the company won't be at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this month. Come after that.
yeah,
Well, what's the big deal? Apple's never released anything there, and they're doing great.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on. It's serious. No,
But-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of HTC phones? I don't guess I stare at people's phones, but
Yeah, I've got some friends that do HTC, and I did HTC for years.
well, I know,
and
right?
Loved
I know,
HTC.
I know. Front facing stereo speakers.
Yeah, they were the first ones to do that,
Right.
and we'll see. And somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong on that, but it was the first one I saw that had front facing speakers. Always liked their UI, but now I've gotten to I like this just stock Android UI.
I had another update this week, as a matter of fact, to my phone.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah.
had one too.
Yeah. I'm liking getting updates. It's
yeah.
like, oh, wow, you care about me. I mean, my
Yes.
goodness, I've never had this much attention on a phone
Yeah, how
before.
long did you go without an update on your previous
it's
phone?
forever.
At least a year,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, at least.
Man,
But yeah, so I'm excited to see what
it's like
Google.
Christmas every week. Huh?
Yeah, it's like Christmas every week.
I'm excited to see what Google will release with a new set of developers and
Yeah,
hardware
that's true.
engineers and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what's the next thing they come out with. Because granted, I like this phone, but there's a lot that I would have done differently on this phone.
Okay, so just to sort of bring this to a little bit of closure here, we also have a companion story with this little phone. We're having a little phone arena here, I think, discussion. I was telling Bruce and the Guru before the show started that Verizon now says they will start locking phones to its network. And the point of this whole thing is, this is Ars Technica article we'll have in the show notes. By the way, if you don't know, you can go to heytechieshow.com. We'll update the show notes, and you'll have those two to kind of look through the articles that we cover. But they're claiming, Verizon is, that they're going to prevent armed robberies. Apparently, and I didn't know this, but apparently there have been several armed robberies during almost said show hours, during store operating hours, where they went in and stole phones because they weren't locked, and they were just taking them, and they can use them in other places and turn them on and activate them or sell them, rather than mostly, I'm sure they're just selling them.
Was it like they were just rushing in the store?
Yeah, with guns.
and looting?
At guns.
Oh, at gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
See, all the Verizon stores I've been into, if you wanted a phone, like they were like, all right, let me go back to the back and get it.
But you take somebody at gunpoint through, one place in here I saw where they were just loading them up with a van.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that there's more product at a store. This is Verizon. You could say AT&T than we realize. I mean, it would be like
Kind of curious.
Hey, I wonder how Walmart does that. I wonder, they're unlocked, I would think. Do they sell unlocked from Verizon?
Oh, phones unlocked?
Yeah.
They're not. They're locked up, but not.
No, I don't mean.
They're not locked down.
I don't know.
I mean, they're not locked to a carrier.
They're physically locked up, but not logically locked up.
No, I know that. I wasn't trying to get inside.
Kind of curious.
I don't know.
Somebody that works at a when you write in, you don't have to tell where, for whom, or even what company. But I'm curious. If you could kind of give us an idea of like what value of stock do you have there?
Verizon updated the story, telling Ars Technica starting today.
They probably have.
I don't know. This was the 12th. Starting today. Lost my place.
I mean, you got to think it wouldn't take a whole lot of storage space to hold a whole lot.
Right, and you got to think all the different.
Here we go.
Like a company cell phone store, one that the company runs, Verizon,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I mean, they have so many different models. You know, they have to have a few of each at least.
Yeah, I would say you got 20 different models. It wouldn't be hard to have.
Well, you could easily go over $1 million in inventory.
Okay, starting
I don't
today,
know about that. Let's see.
phones coming
Good.
into our stores will be locked.
Depending on the
until-
business they do.
will be locked
Sorry.
until that's okay. They're activated, at which time they will become immediately unlocked. This is to prevent them from being stolen while in transit or in inventory, said Verizon.
So they're going to unlock them
Now-
when you buy them?
Unlock when you buy. Now they're saying immediately. They're using the word immediately. That was according to this article. That was from Verizon.
Well, in that case, that's all right because, I mean, you purchase it, then they unlock it at the time
Right.
of purchase. So to the consumer, it's nothing's changing. It's just while they're
Correct. Right.
when they're in an unsold state.
Well, they're
locked.
also saying here, from what I'm gathering, this when they say transit, I assume during shipping, if they shipped you one, say, if you bought it online, they
Yeah.
shipped you one, it would be locked, and then at the time of when you turned it on, they
Yeah.
would do something and unlock. I think that's the concern that
Yeah.
a lot of people have concern. How quick is that? That's the concern.
But
'Cause-
if it's right when you first turn it on, within a minute or so, it's unlocked, then that's not a big
because
deal.
you know
Yeah,
Verizon
exactly.
for several years now, several iterations of
Yeah.
the iPhone have been the universal phone, where you could take it to any carrier. It was totally unlocked. You could take
you
it
just
to any,
buy it and walk out
right,
and take it here. And,
or they also call it the international phone,
yeah.
from what I've been told.
Well, I can
or-
see them doing this to try to protect their inventory from
Well,
being
yeah,
stolen.
I mean, and too, they say they don't want their staff held at gunpoint.
yeah, I understand
Yeah.
that they shouldn't. People shouldn't have to go through that. But
As long as it's implemented correctly,
yes, I was about to say that.
I can get behind it.
Yeah.
But if you start slipping down that slope,
That's
It's on.
that slippery slope,
slippery slope.
then you're just going to have to fulfill orders through the web
There you
and
go.
let Amazon ship them for you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Hey, Techies Show. Be right back.
That's right, baby.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. Bruce is over here intently and doing whatever he's supposed to be doing.
You probably heard a little bit of
which
him
I
right
don't-
there after we unmuted the mic. So
What did you hear? What was he doing?
he was talking.
What did he say?
I don't know. I forgot.
I didn't.
He said something.
Oh, I believe you, but
Yeah.
I didn't hear it in the headset.
Well,
I
that's-
heard him.
that's
Somebody
good.
go,
That was me.
"Oh, that's very good."
That's a good song.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
I'm just trying to figure out how to crash Guru's phone.
God,
What is?
you have an obsession about that,
it's
don't you?
funny. I saw this earlier today, but now I want to know more
No.
about it.
You tried to do that a couple years ago to me
Yeah, I don't
when
think
I was
did.
not when I was out of town.
Yes,
I'm still sore at you for that.
one can tell. One can tell. Well, this is if you want to know the real Hey Takey show, this is sort of what we do right here. So in case you just joined in us,
If you want to be,
who are these
if you want to
three
be a live studio audience,
right?
contact us at-
Who are these three guys right here? Well, Guru, he has some stories, I think. And
I do. I'm
he
not prepared, but
well, yeah, but you can talk about this. You want to discuss a little bit about what SpaceX is doing.
Yes.
Elon Musk.
Yes,
so they
SpaceX.
just we talked about a little bit last week.
we talked about
We
like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
so
we didn't
thank you
cover
for
much.
not. Because what did I ask you this morning? Did y'all talk about SpaceX?
We didn't talk much.
We barely. I said yes, thank you, because I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh, you just turned it over to me.
So what you going to talk about?
So was it last week?
Yes.
Last Tuesday?
Sure.
My days are running together.
It was last week.
Yeah, last week. SpaceX had another milestone.
Right.
Unless you're under a rock, and you may have been. That's okay.
Understand.
They launched what they're calling their Falcon Heavy.
That's right. It was
Which-
very heavy.
It's meant to launch heavier payloads.
I know. I'm just kidding.
So basically, it looks like 3 Falcon 9s strapped together, which they explained that it's not. They had to reconfigure some stuff, but the same technology of the Falcon 9, which the Falcon 9 has 9 engines. That's why it's called Falcon 9.
Right.
Kind of smart there. So this whole rocket had 27 of the Merlin engines. Those are the engines in the first stage.
Wow.
Yeah. So
There you go.
so they did there's a test flight. So everybody's wondering, they're going to be able to pass? Is it going to succeed? Because even if it fails, they're still getting data, because this is the first time they've ever launched this
Exactly,
vehicle.
right.
Everything before this has been all simulated and on the drawing board and all that stuff. So this is the first time this thing flew. And by God, that thing flew.
Wow.
The I guess you call it the primary mission. It had a mission because there was a payload. We'll get to that in a minute. But there was a payload, and the payload did successfully get into orbit.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Now, but another thing with space, this is what fascinates me. This is something that's never been done until SpaceX came along. Is the first stage of the rocket, they've multiple times have successfully landed the first stage back
yes.
on Earth.
Yeah. In some form or fashion. Sometimes in the water on a platform.
Sometimes depending on the mission, sometimes
Right.
a drone ship, which is basically a big floating barge size of a football field in the
Yeah.
ocean, or back at their landing zones near where they launch from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key with SpaceX, is the reusability. Because normal rockets, when you send something into orbit, whether it's the government or these other companies, the whole thing's expendable. Which
Right.
means
Exactly.
after they get whatever object is into orbit, they basically throw the whole rocket away.
That's right. Yeah. That's been the general.
Yeah, so SpaceX they've kept on refining this process of being able to do the reusability and land these first stages and refly them. And in fact, 2 of the outer stages of the outer cores of the first stage of the Falcon Heavy were reused Falcon 9 rockets from previous missions.
Huh.
Yeah, do you not know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might not have known it.
Yeah, and they successfully landed 2 of the 3 first stage rockets.
Okay.
The center core, well, the 2 outer ones landed back at near Kennedy Space Center at their landing zones 1 and 2. They launched this thing at let me back up. They launched it at Kennedy Space Center 39A, Yeah, Pad 39A,
there you go.
which people are like, what's that? But this was the same launch pad that all the Apollo missions went off of. So you think Apollo 11, the mission that took men to the moon and landed on the moon the first time.
Exactly, right.
Plus the majority of the space shuttle missions launched from 39A.
Well, in case somebody doesn't know, what was the payload?
Yeah, the payload. I was getting to that. So most of the time, these test flights, they don't really want to put a very expensive satellite or anything like that, because if it does blow up or do something bad, well, you've just wasted a bunch of money.
Correct, right.
So typically, they have to simulate something. They have a mass simulator, which basically is steel or concrete blocks or something. Just something with some mass to be able to put it in orbit and say, okay, it worked.
Right, exactly.
Well, apparently, I read a story, and I don't have the link to it, but SpaceX did approach NASA and the U.S. Air Force about, would you like to fly something on this? They were going to give them basically a free ride if they want to take something to orbit, because they didn't want to just shoot up something that was like concrete or something. Of course, NASA and them both passed because they were worried about losing a payload, which, I mean, that's their choice. So apparently their fallback was what they actually flew, and it was Elon Musk. I forget what model year it was, but his Tesla Roadster. It was probably one of the first Tesla Roadsters.
Bruce probably seen it before.
Yeah. Cherry red Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
And they had to build like a special thing because it was kind of set on an angle so it fit inside the payload ferry, and they had some cameras too. Some equipment to send that stuff back.
I just thought of something. Do you think they had to remove the batteries from that thing because of the volatility maybe of it?
In the post-launch press conference, Musk never said it was. He never said that. No one asked that directly, but he said it was. He commented that what are you doing?
Nothing.
No, but Musk did comment. Elon Musk, who founded SpaceX, he did comment that this stuff had never been tested. These materials never been tested for flight in space.
Okay, I was curious,
and he was amazed at how well it held up there in the vacuum of space.
So if you bought a Tesla, by the way, it can fly in space.
Yeah, it may not get anywhere without your rocket or something. But also, you talk about that, but they had a something else, not just a car. It's an empty car. They took apparently was a production model of their spacesuit that they're developing as part of the Dragon crew, the Crew Dragon capsule. Their SpaceX spacesuit. They put one in a mannequin and set that mannequin in the spacesuit in the driver's seat of the car. And then on top of that, they had another little Easter egg, as they called it. They took a die-cast car, a Hot Wheels car of a Tesla Roadster with a little spacesuit man, which they're calling Starman.
Yes.
Set it in there and then set that on the dash of the Tesla.
Yes.
Which I call that guy Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
That's the true Rocket Man.
Space dummy.
Rocket Man.
Bruce is bored.
No, I'm not bored.
And we're talking about Musk.
No,
we've had to defend Musk to Bruce lately.
Yeah, I know.
I decided to just go and see if I could reserve their Roadster, but I don't have that much money.
You don't? Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I thought they quit making the Roadster. They got a different model now.
Oh, no, yeah, they do. A new Roadster.
Oh, the new Roadster. Okay.
I don't have to get the Founders Series. I could.
Oh, yeah.
Could afford the.
That's right.
You got to make a $45,000 wire transfer payment. That's just for the Roadster. If you want the Founder Series, you have to make a $245,000 wire transfer.
Is that the cost of it, or just the deposit?
I think that's the cost. You got to put a $5,000 down payment reservation plus a $245,000 wire transfer payment within 10 days.
God.
For the Founder Series.
And how long? What's the lead time on getting that after you do that?
I don't know.
Forever.
Not soon enough.
It's about the same.
If I drop that kind of money on a car, you better come bring it to my house tomorrow.
It's about the same lead time as that computer that Bruce still hasn't gotten.
Well, the thing
Superbook.
The thing is that that's actually very inexpensive for the type of car you're getting, because there's people that pay $1 million for this type of car.
I can't imagine.
I want one of these.
Yeah, but the SpaceX Falcon Heavy was very cool.
And it didn't relight, right? One of the
that was the thing. The two outer stages landed at landing zones 1 and 2 near Kennedy Space Center.
Right.
They landed successfully, like one after the other, boom boom. Like within a
Right,
second of each
yeah.
other. Now the center core, its mission, its plan was to land on the drone ship because it was going to be. It stayed attached longer and burned longer. But like you said, it takes. There's several burns they do once it detaches from the actual flight. It's going back to Earth. There's different. If you watch one of the webcasts, they explain all that. But at the end, they have to do a final landing burn, basically make it go transonic to where it's not crashing into Earth at the speed of sound. And apparently 2 of the 3 rockets that was required for that landing burn did not fire.
Okay. Well,
So Musk did say in the press conference later
I saw some of that press conference.
that was not covered live, but they said he said later that it didn't make it. It crashed into the ocean like 300 miles.
300 miles an hour, right? Well, one of the issues was that they had not, his boring company had not created the flamethrowers yet that was going to light it while it was up there in the that's what happened.
But even though that didn't come back and land successfully, they still got data from
sure,
telemetry and all that they can learn from it. Why did it not? I think they know why it didn't light, but that root cause of that, So,
hey, explain something to me.
Yeah.
You were telling me this afternoon about the chemical that it doesn't. They use a chemical to relight when it
it's called
touches the air.
T-Tab.
Yeah,
TEATB.
in case you haven't heard of that.
Basically, when that chemical's exposed to air, it catches fire.
Okay. Did Bruce know about that?
So it's
T-Tab?
like a flick your bic on steroids.
I'm going to give Bruce a different office.
I learned about that. Let me just give a plug
order
here.
his Tesla.
Let me give a plug here. I learned that from a YouTube channel.
Yeah, right.
Everyday Astronaut.
There you
it's
go.
a guy, and he basically explains all this stuff in very down to earth terms. That's kind of a play on words, but it's where the average Joe and Jane can understand it.
Correct, right.
Which is a good thing because
Everyday Astronaut.
Everyday Astronaut on YouTube.
Cool.
And he's covered a lot of launches live from down there at Kennedy Space Center. I think he's based in the Tampa area, but very informative series on YouTube.
I think it'd be neat to just go down there and watch one day.
It would be. I'd
You
love
want to come, Mikey?
Hmm?
I said, you want to come watch a launch?
Sure.
You'd be excited.
That would be cool.
Whatever
It'd be cool
you
to witness
say.
one of those.
Sure, Bruce, we'll go down there.
And we get
Really?
Sure, why not?
Here's and the guy
Go ahead,
the
Bruce.
Everyday Astronaut channel. He's got a video on the best places down there on the space coast of Florida to watch them.
Oh, heck
I mean, he explained like distances and like, if you go here, you may have an obstructed view. I mean,
that's
the
good.
guy gets very detailed.
It's a great tour guide.
You may have an obstructive view of the sky.
Well, but like at launch, I mean, when it
I'm just curious. This is one really tall tree.
when it first
If you
lifts,
stand under a tree, it's probably
when it first lifts off, you may have an obstructive view.
I know. I'm just kidding.
A hill may get in the way.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this too, and this may spark some controversy.
I
here.
can't see the
I wanna
rocket
say-
because the rocket's so tall.
I want to say,
Obstructing my view.
and this will be a good little tidbit for
Yeah.
today you learned on the show. I think
We got 4
Florida
minutes.
is the flattest state.
Yes, I did
Yes.
know that. The highest point is non-man-made is 996 feet in Florida.
About the elevation here.
Yeah.
Like 700-800 feet here. Let me say this real quick. Then we got like 4 minutes till the break. So NASA's been for years trying to build their heavy lift rocket to replace the space shuttle. It's this, they call it the Space Launch System, SLS.
Yeah.
They have so far spent $7.8 billion on the program so far.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't even launched anything. It's
Wow.
just developing it.
A lot of good research going into that.
I hope so.
Wonder what kind of products we're
But
going
here's the thing.
New Velcro.
Here's the thing.
They
That
didn't
$7.8 billion, that $7.8 billion
Yeah.
would equate to 86 launches of the reusable Falcon Heavy,
Yep.
or 52 of the expendable version.
Yeah.
If you needed to get it, more payload or higher orbit, you wouldn't reuse the
Sure.
those cost more.
Yeah.
And those provide up to 3,000 tons of lift. That's how much mass, you could get into low Earth orbit with Falcon Heavy. with 7.8
so
billion.
excited about this. This man's space race here in the U.S.
But now it's the
Space
government.
race in the United States.
It's the government versus
Private industry.
several private industry, because there's another at Blue Origin that's
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos
Yep.
from Amazon is funding.
Yep.
But Elon Musk got it going on. I'm going to tell you,
I'm amazed.
he's got it going
at
on.
how many companies that man can run.
I've got a related story
doesn't
about
ever sleep.
SpaceX is going to launch its first internet satellites.
Yep.
I guess it already happened. This
No.
will say February 12th. It said this week, so it's coming up.
They're having
Saturday.
They're having launch Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to launch, and those are the ones that are not going to go up very as high as geocentric.
They'll put a bunch of them in orbit, so it'll be more of a low Earth or
Wonder what-
low Earth.
I
There's going to take more of them, and
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah,
What's
right,
the SSID?
exactly. So they're going to be
Old
SpaceX.
Muskie. Old Muskie.
That's
they're
right.
going to be at 750 miles.
Yeah.
Old Muskie.
Yeah, there was something I saw too where I think somebody was trying to urge the FCC to kind of push through the approval of that. Like
Interesting.
fast track it, so because this may solve the whole rural broadband issue.
It
you know?
might.
You know?
Just might.
Can you imagine though? Just sit for if you're in your car, pull over. This is really.
All right.
You might need to. No, seriously, just kidding about that.
Park.
But listen, internet satellites. It says today they fly at geostationary orbits over 20,000 miles above 20,000 miles.
That's why they'll stay in the same spot
I
in the
know
sky.
how it works.
Yeah.
I understand how it works.
Yeah, it has to be a lot-
Stationary, but 20,000 miles. Can you really comprehend that? I mean, most people haven't even driven 20,000 miles in their lifetime. I know I haven't.
I guarantee
20
you have
yes, you have.
20,000.
20,000 miles?
Yeah, you've probably.
My
put
car's
20,000
got like
miles-
37,000 miles on it. I drove most of those.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
20,000 miles is a lot.
It is.
I'm talking about distance wise.
Yeah, I mean, I've put twice that on my car,
I know I'm kidding.
and then some.
Just joking here. Just
But yeah,
killing
it is.
time.
I mean, it's more. It's probably more than you drive in a year. Because on average, I think you put 12,000 miles.
That's
on
what
your
I
car.
should have said. 20,000 miles on a year. That you cleaned it up there, Bruce. Thank
You're
you. Thank you,
welcome.
buddy.
Bruce puts 20,000
That's what I
miles
meant
a
to
year on
say.
his car probably.
Do what?
He probably put 20,000
Well,
more.
anyway, it's still at one time, distance. It's amazing that's not.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind at that. 20,000. Wow.
That is crazy. Oh, is it time for our dose?
It is time for our dose,
Man.
Bruce. And I think maybe some kind of pick me up for me. Apparently,
Oh.
hey, Takey show.
I didn't talk about the roadster, where it's going.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show for our
Dose.
dose. Brucey's. Have you actually watched any of the Olympics, Bruce?
No.
I haven't either.
So basically, you should watch Cool Runnings and
Yeah.
be done with it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Bobsled time.
Bobsleigh time. Well, welcome back into our dose of the Hey Techies show.
I do want to
And
watch some curling, though.
some curling.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife showed me a video of somebody sweeping the floor,
Yes.
mopping the floor or something, that
With
they
a-
were doing
no,
curling with
Roomba or something.
something. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those.
Well, Guru did not get to finish
Yeah,
up.
I want
Guru
one
didn't
more
get-
thing,
Guru's
real
got
quick.
one more thing. Guru's
Yeah.
got to put a cap on
So-
our
so-
our SpaceX.
I'll put a little bow on this. So the Tesla Roadster that they put into
Yes.
I said into orbit, which it isn't an orbit, but it's not your typical or orbit, low Earth orbit, geostationary transfer orbit, blah 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 blah. They put this thing in an orbit that will take it basically outside of the Earth's orbit, out beyond Mars, and they actually got it to where it'll enter the asteroid belt. The orbit is around the sun. It's kind of an elliptical orbit, so it's going to be out there, they say, forever, for billions of years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But there is a website somebody has set up, and I don't know who this guy is. I'd love to meet him or at least talk to him. But it's called whereisroadster.com. And he's got on here like a little graphic, kind of a representation of the solar system. And it shows, Earth's position, Mars' position, Venus, Mercury, Ceres, which is the largest object in the asteroid belt, along with the Roadster's position, which is real close to Earth right now. But then below it, it's talking about the actual location. Is right now the current position of the Roadster is 1.7 million-ish miles. It's a little more than that. Basically 1.7 million miles away from Earth. Moving away from Earth at a speed of 6,797 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Which is 10,939 kilometers an hour, or 3.04 kilometers per second.
Wow.
The car is 140 million miles from Mars, moving toward the planet at a speed of 43,463 miles per hour. So there you go. And sometime this summer, I think it's going to make its closest pass to Mars. I forget when. It's in July, I believe, maybe. Anyway,
Maybe. I'm looking at the golds or the medal race. Feel bad for one of our women. Her last name's Golden, but she won bronze.
but yeah. And apparently,
Okay.
and apparently this guy's working.
Tough name to live up to.
He's working on it. It's not ready yet because I did some research about this on whereisroadster.com. He's going to create some graphical representations of what a simulated view from the Roadster is, like how far Earth is away, how close to Mars it is, like how it would look if you were there with Rocket Man or Skyman, Starman,
Sure,
whatever.
Rocket Man, yeah.
I call him Rocket Man. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, whereisroadster.com.
Should have had that song pulled up.
I know.
Man.
I should have
I didn't
told
think
you
about
so you
it.
could have
I
had
didn't
it.
think
Yeah.
about that.
We'll play it next week
Yeah.
in honor of Rocket Man and not Kim Jong Un. That's not my
I know who you. We
my Rocket Man's the Tesla Rocket Man.
right.
Anyway, very cool, very cool. Just be watching SpaceX. Even if you're not a fan of space and all that stuff, just keep an eye out on them because you're gonna hear more and more about them as time goes on. And one day you may be able to you'd be able to thank SpaceX for your internet.
Thank SpaceX for your
You
internet.
say thanks, Elon. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they may be they could be taking that over too. Who knows?
Yep.
Who knows? Bruce, did you ever have more than like one story tonight? I mean, was there one story or?
Oh yeah, I got plenty more, but now I'm.
But now you're involved in something else.
Yeah. Hey,
we can't really be on the show.
This is totally y'all's fault.
Oh, it's our fault.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Well, I've got something if you don't.
Well, how in the world could it be our fault? Exactly.
Because you created distractions.
Distractions.
Okay.
Plenty
Well,
of
Guru, what you got?
Okay. Oh,
Well, I mean,
So,
I guess I'll have to wait.
we have talked about VPNs on this show.
yes, we have.
Do you know where I'm going with this already?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
So, we have, maybe we've talked in length. I know we've talked about it off the air at length. But no, when you sign up for a VPN, we've always said you get what you pay for, right?
Yes. Yes.
We have recommended some good ones.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't endorse. But
No,
we've recommended.
can't endorse.
I don't endorse anything.
Whatever.
Because just the moment you do, they'll screw something up. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, y'all
You're
had it.
being non-committal.
Yeah. I don't commit to anything. But one I can tell you definitely don't do, because this is the thing. When you VPN, they could easily capture everything, because that's
There's a lot of trust you're putting them. You're putting
absolutely instilling
Yeah.
trust in them. Well,
Uh-oh.
your favorite company.
Yes. My favorite. I don't have one.
Well, I'm not on it, so it is definitely more favorite of y'all's than it is mine. Facebook.
Oh, Bookface. Okay.
Yeah, Bookface
they have VPN.
What about what's going on with
now
Bookface?
is offering a VPN. Onava.
Sure. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna use Facebook's VPN.
Now let
Sure.
me ask this question: what would be the point to doing this for someone, not for Facebook, but what would be the advantage?
There's no advantage.
That's
for
what I
any-
was thinking.
Unless you're like, I don't want my ISP to see everything. I just want Facebook to see
Well,
everything.
they're gonna now.
Honestly, and I'll be fair. I'll be absolutely fair. This would be the equivalent of taking a VPN from Google.
Yes, I was thinking that.
Well, what does
Which-
Facebook say? I mean, they're
Yeah,
going to charge
kinda.
for this, or
No. It's totally free. Part of Facebook. Part of the app.
Well, you're the customer.
It's going to be part of the app.
These
Yeah.
advertisers.
So
want the data.
basically, Facebook does not want what you're going to be sharing. They don't want anybody else grabbing it before
That's
they do.
Part of it, yeah.
There we go.
And then not only that, they'll be able to capture more than what they captured before.
Oh, probably so. Makes sense.
Well, yeah, because every bit of data is going, not just your statuses and what you comment.
But
What
all
you
of
look
your
at.
traffic is
Yeah.
going through.
I don't
that.
have that app. I have Facebook, but I don't have an app on the
And
phone.
there was another story. I at least saw the headline, but it was a Facebook employee told a
Mhm.
reporter
Yeah.
to turn off their phone because it had Facebook on it, and they didn't want it on because of all the tracking that's going on. They're like,
Ooh.
"Yeah, you need to not have that on while you're in here." And it's like, "Are you kidding me? I am here for you, and this is your app." But anyways, so that should just tell you. I don't understand why anybody has Facebook, which their subscription is going down, like the active users.
Oh yeah, well, I think that's been a trend.
And it has been trending down with the younger generation, and
Oh
kind
yeah,
of staying
that's
flat
yeah,
with the old people.
yeah, and fake accounts too.
Oh yeah,
Plenty of fake accounts. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, just like Twitter, plenty of fake accounts. Golly.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Guru, you were saying,
Yeah, I've got another one here. This is Apple. Shocker. I
oh
know.
wow,
So, the HomePod came out recently. That's Apple's voice assistant Siri. I'm not a fan of this kind of stuff, but anyway, people are. But the HomePod came out, but here it's got a unusual side effect. So this is Apple's. There was reports of this. Now Apple's confirming it. Apple confirms HomePod can leave white rings on wood surfaces with oil or wax finishes.
okay.
What now? How?
So basically, what it is, and this happens with other devices too. It has a silicone kind of base, the kind of non-stick, non-skid
Yeah.
on the bottom. So if you set it on certain finishes that are like wood finishes that are treated with oils or waxes,
Yeah.
like it's a oil rubbed finish,
Yeah.
not like a varnish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's a reaction, a chemical reaction with the silicone that creates this ring.
Gotcha.
Which it can be, if you can retreat the wood and get it off. It's not like a permanent stain. You have to do some work. So I'm trying to find Apple's statement in here, if it's in here. Yeah, the HomePod is the Apple. Yeah, Apple recently they shared a cleaning and taking care of HomePod support document that includes a section called "Where to Place HomePod." This section includes details on the silicone base of the device and warns that can cause marks on wood, on some wooden surfaces. And this is from the support
I want to
document.
make a joke so bad.
Yeah.
Let me finish. And it gets better. I've got something else after this that is related. HomePod is designed for indoor use only. When using HomePod, make sure to place on a solid surface. Place the power cord so that it can't be walked on or pinched. Okay, that's kind of common sense. It is not unusual for any speaker with a vibration dampening silicone base to leave mild marks when placed on some wooden surfaces. The marks can be caused by oils diffusing between the silicone base and the table surface, and will often go away after several days when the speaker is removed from the wooden surface. If not, wiping the surface gently with a soft, damp, or dry cloth may remove the marks. If marks persist, clean the surface with the furniture manufacturer recommended cleaning process. If you're concerned about this, we recommend placing your HomePod on a different surface. The problem is because where you're putting it.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their
So
operandus.
on the heels of that, now you've got this. This was out today. So a company called Pad and Quill, they debut new leather coasters for the HomePod.
Awesome.
For the
Gotta buy
HomePod.
a coaster for it now.
So fond news of the HomePod leaving the white rings. Pad and Quill has designed and debuted new leather coasters that are meant to be used with the HomePod.
I wonder if I can.
They're available in two colors, whiskey and chestnut.
I wonder if I can just use the New York Times newspaper because I'm not reading it for anything.
Yeah,
It's just,
they look very nice. Leather, got a little stitching around the edges. That's how much they are. Only $20, $19.95. Ships in 3 to 5 days.
Per coaster.
Yeah, it's a 4-inch round coaster made to sit your, if you don't use a coaster on your wood, with like a drink and it sweats, it's going to leave a mark. You got to have a coaster for your HomePod now. You spent $350 on the device. They got to spend another $20 on a coaster.
well, I can tell you one thing.
I thought that was quite humorous.
I can tell you one thing.
Just don't buy a HomePod. How about that?
No, you can buy a HomePod.
I'm not. I will not own a HomePod.
I mean, I don't need it, but somebody.
Or an Alexa or anything like that. Sorry.
No Alexa? No.
No.
Siri, call 911.
Yeah, something like
Not
that.
that either.
Yeah. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. A little you too there.
Man, if
What?
just wish I could have this album just automatically downloaded to my phone.
You like this album, huh? No. You don't like it, huh?
Just picking.
Don't like you too, huh? Not a big fan.
Picking at companies that force things on you.
Oh, that's right. Totally forgot about that. I can't believe
every time I hear you two, that's what I think of. Man,
Apple totally forgot about that.
Apple messed that up.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you two. We'll give it to them for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess they did. They did. Then no question. Well, they do this a lot, actually.
Well, hey, I guess the problem wasn't that they gave it to you. It was hard to get rid of. It was impossible to get rid of until they're like, "Oh, people are mad. We should fix this."
Well,
oh man, I mean, good old Apple.
For Apple, that's not a big surprise.
Yeah, that's true. Can't please everybody. And neither can Ubuntu, because they have decided, and I feel like we've talked about this. Maybe we were talking about it was coming, and now they're going to do it. But if you are a Ubuntu fan, starting from 18.04, they will ask to collect data.
Oh, they're going to ask to.
Yeah,
they're going to quit. You can sign.
You can opt out. Yeah,
you can opt out of the telemetry,
and it'll be sent over encrypted connections, and no IP addresses will be tracked. And the data they'll collect will be the following: flavor and version of Ubuntu, network connectivity or not. I don't know how it's not whenever. How's it going to be sent? CPU family, RAM, disk size, screen resolution, GPU vendor and model, OEM manufacturer, location based on the location's selection made during install, not anything that's based on tracking you.
Yeah.
No IP information will be shared. Time taken for installation, auto login enabled or not. Disk layout selected, third-party software selected or not. Download updates during install or not, and live patch enabled or not. So I feel like none of that is invasive.
No, actually, I think that.
But it's a foot in the door.
It is. That's true. That's no question about that. But I do think that it's probably the right stuff a company should be asking about their OS.
Yeah, to make it better.
Yeah, to make it. But they're trying. And another thing too, I noticed the CPU and all that. It would stand to reason that if they find out which CPUs people are using with their OS, they can maybe target more, or which ones don't work as well.
Yeah,
maybe situations that puts that in less RAM, more RAM. That certain what video card.
Yeah,
and they could improve it. Of course, Ubuntu works on most everything for the most part that I've sort of tried. It's not my go-to Linux OS.
Hasn't worked.
Yeah, it's not my go-to Linux OS, but it's certainly.
What is your go-to Linux OS?
I'm go back and forth between a couple of them, but I still like Linux Mint. Okay. I still like it.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yep.
You do like Mint.
But there's a few others I've tried. Of course, I don't really. I used it on live USB. I like to. I like to use it that way.
Non-committal.
Yeah, no committal. I use it a lot. Actually, I use it a lot. You can boot to something and tell if your OS is causing the problem or hardware. Because if Linux, most of the things will boot with this, and you especially if you're having network issues, you can tell immediately whether that network card is goofed up because it won't work in Linux either, or it'll do the same kind of deal, or the OS is goofed up Windows, which is real big shock.
Yeah,
would be typical. Shocker. Which is I run it, but it's very useful in my line of work to figure out whether or not the OS is the problem.
Yeah.
So I've got something sort of related on the lines of, well, it's not related to Ubuntu, but related to privacy.
Yes.
So recently, this is a show on Fox News, Tucker Carlson Tonight. They do some investigative stuff, and recently he had one of his reporters, I guess you call him. He works for Fox, Brett Larson, which that name may ring a bell for those who remember Tech TV. He actually was
Oh, okay.
I remember that. I'm probably the only one that does. Anyway, so he went out and took 2 brand new Google Android devices. Never been set up, never been used before. Took the SIM cards out of them.
Yeah, right. Okay? Right.
One of them he left in airplane mode. Never been on Wi-Fi either. Okay. One of them was on airplane mode. One was just on normal. Of course, no SIM card. They can't do nothing. So he goes around D.C. Taking pictures. National Cathedral, goes to Children's National Hospital, goes to a couple different landmarks, takes a couple pictures, a couple selfies. Gets in a car and they take him these places. Comes back to the office and connects these to what he called a man-in-the-middle device, basically a Wi-Fi network that's capturing all the data.
All right.
So he connects it to that, but it's on the internet, but it's capturing everything that's passing back and forth. So the moment he connects it to that Wi-Fi, he starts looking through all the metadata that got sent to Google. I mean, it knew where he was at. He was able to tell where he had been.
GPS.
By the metadata. But it got sent to Google the moment he connected to the internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it goes back to, again, with Google, we've said this before. The customer, you as the consumer, you're not the customer. You're the
product.
You're the product, yes. So I thought that was interesting. And we'll put the link in the show notes to there's a video. The segment from the show is actually in this article, so you can watch it yourself. But it goes back to that thing where, these end user license agreements, it's in there in that legalese, and you accept it to use the device. But with it's one of those things with Google, you just got to know what you're giving up. And Google did say there is ways to turn that off, because of course they reached out to Google for a statement. And there's ways you can turn off, location and other things. But sometimes by installing apps, you turn it back
on. Yeah.
So you gotta. If you're concerned about that, you have to watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the newer OSs though, you have such granular control over.
You do
exactly. I mean, you just go to each app.
Right. And I had this discussion with somebody the other day about this particular thing, and they made the statement, "Well, Apple's probably doing the same thing." And I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, I'm sure
they probably are to a certain degree or another. But Apple's not selling. They're not selling your data to advertisers yet. That we know of, but that's Google's business. I mean,
it is. That's the thing. Anytime Google comes out with something like, "Oh, that's neat. It's free."
It's free because they're going to sell your data.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are they collecting?
Yeah, so just FYI, keep that in mind, sort of thing. And if you don't want that, get an Apple phone. Enough said.
Oh, speaking of that,
Bruce even agreed with me there.
Speaking of that,
I told you if I were to.
Speaking of Google and particularly Chrome, I found out this actually today. I don't know if it happened today, this week, I suppose. If you are a user of Office 365, there is a plugin now for Chrome that will allow single sign-on for your email, so that when you bring up Chrome, it takes the single sign-on that you logged in with your Azure for your Azure booting it up, logged into your Azure account on your machine.
Yeah,
because IE and Edge does that automatically.
Who uses those browsers?
Well, there are some people actually.
I do use IE because I have to.
You know what? I tried to use Edge today.
Yep.
Sat there and typed and typed and typed and typed, and nothing would type.
Well, you don't need to use it then.
I know.
It's how you were typing. That was this is not an Apple device. Sorry.
I mean, I was just sitting there typing away, and I don't know if it's my key scrambler that I have that was missed, but like all my other browsers work just fine. Yeah. And I'm like, well, Edge, you lose.
Yeah.
You lose again.
Good old Edge.
Good old Edgy.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, I know we've talked about this in the past, about robots coming to take your hamburger flipping job away.
That's right.
And Miso has scored $10 million to bring its hamburger flipper robot to more restaurants.
Okay.
And I know we've talked about this.
Didn't we talk about it's like in a food truck?
Yeah,
the hamburger flipper.
No. There's been at least one outfit or a restaurant that was actually having this robot cook, right?
I think so. Yeah.
No, Miso is the company that makes it,
Miso
right?
is the company. Yeah,
MESO, is that correct? Or
MISO.
MISO,
Yeah.
sorry.
Close.
No, it wasn't. I'm 20,000
It may be
miles. 20,000 miles away.
20,000 miles.
off.
Yeah,
of it.
20,000 miles away.
So this is, we've talked about this, and I want to reiterate this. People that are creating these robots, it doesn't. They need to rethink how they're designing these things, because it doesn't have to mimic and have to have all the capabilities that a human has. Because they're trying to mimic. It has this camera that will, basically an infrared camera that's like, based on the way this looks, I can tell whether it's done or not.
Mm-hmm.
But they can also tell if it's got cheese or if it's chicken or whatever. But it's just this one single arm with a spatula that's flipping these things and moving it to a bun or whatever.
Right.
To me, if you're going to do this, like, that seems so a human is inefficient when it comes to these type of tasks. You don't. I guess part of it is it's easy to retrofit.
Mm-hmm.
You can just slide this thing in,
Right.
hook it to power, and then it can work in the environment that's already there. Maybe that's the thought process behind it. But I would say automate the whole process. Like, really, you would just have everything stocked, and then either a human would restock whatever, or a robot would restock whatever is needed. But that way you could freshly make patties. You just have all the beef already there, and it would
load up beef on one end, get burgers
and
cooked
it
on
would
the other.
a machine would press that out. It would go down the assembly line, get cooked. It
Drop it on a bun, and there you
drop
go.
it on a bun, and there you go. And that's a burger.
Yeah.
Could do the same thing with chicken. Just turn that loader, drop the piece of chicken,
Well, there was a couple.
goes down the
Makes me think
conveyor.
a couple years
done.
ago, I was staying at a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
Smart.
And
that
they,
way.
I was smart that day.
Yeah.
But they had the little, breakfast in the lobby. That's one of those hotel properties gives you breakfast as part of your stay. But they had a machine there. You push the button and it made 2 pancakes fresh.
Yeah. And say that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it took a minute or two. It didn't take long, but I mean, as long as it would be if you were like using like the waffle iron kind of thing, you push the button and a few minutes, about a minute later, like you put the plate down at the end and they roll off.
Bet you it was quicker than getting a human. Excuse.
I thought-
Excuse.
I thought
Well,
that was,
maybe.
I thought that was the
Hey,
neatest thing.
excuse me. Oh, finally got your attention. Hey, can I get 2 pancakes?
Easy now.
Yeah, just a minute. Then they're like, where did I put that batter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. Plop, plop.
Very exaggerated.
No, I've had that happen.
Well, apparently,
And it was for pancakes.
Oh,
What was
speaking
shocking
of, this is
at-
not
at a
really
Hilton.
this is not really robots,
Yeah.
but McDonald's they have an app. No, everybody has an app,
they-
right? But you can actually now place an order
right.
on the order place an order on the order. Place an order on the app, and when you get there, it knows you're there, and you say, "I want to pick it up at curbside." You tell them where you're parked,
And
'cause
they
have
have
and they bring it out.
numbers,
They
yeah.
bring it out to you.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you weren't here for this, and I'm still excited about it. You know Amazon's going to start delivering groceries
Yeah, you are
from Whole
excited about
Foods?
I can't afford Whole
I
Foods.
thought about this.
I'll
I
be
thought
whole
about
broke.
this.
We-
Yeah, it's a whole
we-
paycheck.
Yeah.
I thought about this. I thought about this. I could totally do it while I'm at work.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be where you're at, though.
I think it will come
Maybe,
to this
yeah.
state eventually.
Yeah, but-
because they're
but-
eventually going to roll it out to all stores.
But you're expecting it
But I
to be
can't
a
use my
big.
whole paycheck.
You're expecting it to be a big thing. I think in big cities it'll be something that it will
I
take
work in
off.
big city, Mister.
I know, but I just think it's the
Negative.
if it was a but
Oh,
don't
man.
wait.
I'm telling you, once it comes to all Whole Food stores, it's going to be huge.
Don't they already do this in a way? You can order almost anything from Amazon already. I mean, you might not have Whole Foods.
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
But 2 hours. That is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
For free.
I know. Well, no, it was
You're gonna pay a whole lot more.
On anything over $35.
Over 35.
It's not going to take much.
Yeah.
I want 2 bags of nuts, please.
$50.
I've never shopped at one of those. So
Oh, man. Oh, dude. Oh, you get some good cheeses, some good meats. Of course, like your beef and chicken and stuff, I'll get locally at like a
Yeah,
a
we
local
talked
butcher.
about
But
on the show.
You can't get any medicine from there, though.
Okay. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back.
Really, you can't. I went into a Whole Foods. But if I did some after 40,
Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. We feel like we've had a lot of rain lately, actually.
It was actually pretty today.
It was a real nice day
Yeah.
today on Thursday. Bruce is going to sing us out here.
when I'm falling. I hadn't heard that song forever.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite,
But yeah,
all-time
man.
favorite Christian bands right there.
It has rained way too much.
Yeah,
Didn't it rain this morning? Last night?
It
this
was,
morning?
yeah, it did overnight. It did overnight.
poured.
I wouldn't say
It poured.
I wouldn't say it was too much.
It was way too much.
It was good. It was just
way
enough.
too much rain. My grass better look amazing here in like a month.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
I may be trying to sell a house.
Oh
Well, you want to buy a house? You
no,
got a
I'm not.
house.
I'm not in the market.
You want to buy a house?
Nah, probably not in the market right now. But I appreciate it. I mean, I guess we're always in the market.
Yeah,
but-
you're always in the market.
Hey, it's a buyer's market.
Listeners of the show, you could live in a celebrity's house.
Give you a good price. Better hurry.
Celebrity
Before
lives there
somebody
before
snatches
me.
it up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Could get it for a good price, maybe.
A celeb said.
Done a lot of work to that house. And it's very unique.
Yeah, okay.
It is very unique.
Yeah.
Based on Frank Lloyd Wright
I like your house
design. Not commissioned, but based on. It was built right.
Yeah.
And,
You know, we were talking about Amazon just a while ago.
yes, we
And
were.
I wanted to throw this in real quick. Did you know that it has been reported that Amazon is going to cut hundreds of corporate jobs?
Oh, I didn't see corporate. I
Yep.
just knew they were cutting a little bit.
Corporate jobs.
Had they decided on the new city yet?
No, Birmingham's out though.
Yeah, I saw Birmingham. And Atlanta's on there, though.
Atlanta's still in.
I don't see how Atlanta's going to get it.
They got a good chance, I think.
They got a good chance, but I don't see how they can support much more.
That is true.
They're going to have like double-decker highways, like all go in the same direction.
They need to invest in the mass transit.
I thought they had a pretty good mass transit system.
Well, I mean, they got
the MARTA.
They're starting to get overwhelmed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're fixing to expand MARTA,
Okay.
the rail part.
Yeah. Is there a non-rail part? Oh, the bus.
Yeah, the
duh.
buses, yeah.
Yeah. I'm an
It
idiot.
says-
Who read those? Yeah, right.
Says most of the job cuts are targeting Amazon's
Part of the thought
consumer
process we'll do
retail
there.
business. And it's going to be at one of their supposedly sorry, the Seattle Times reports that they're laying off hundreds of corporate employees at the online retailer Seattle. Sorry,
Satellite.
easy for me to say.
Satellite in Washington.
We've been talking, right, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Seattle's headquarters, hundreds more spread across Amazon's global operations, are also being let go. So apparently different areas of the business.
Walmart had a recent layoff at corporate too.
Walmart did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. We won't talk about that. That's not tech related.
No, it's not. But
Well, I was gonna say-
they're just Amazon's their biggest competitor
Yeah.
now. It used to be like Kmart and Target.
Which, speaking of Amazon, I don't have the article, but I saw a headline earlier today, and I just didn't click on it because it was more of like passport photos and personal information found on Amazon.
Oh.
It was probably an S3 bucket.
Yeah.
That is just, man, people just, why would you share that? Why would you just share with everybody? I don't know, man. It's just,
Oh, I do have something Walmart.
That just shouldn't be
I
an
do
option,
have,
maybe.
I do have something tech
should have
related
to
that's
call and
Walmart.
request it.
So, Walmart they've had it for years. They used to call it
Yeah.
Site to Store. They just call it now Pickup.
Yeah,
You can order off Walmart.com and you can have it shipped to the store and free shipping.
Yeah.
So I did that for an item
Okay.
and got a email late yesterday saying it was ready. Well, I couldn't make it yesterday. So I said, I'm going to go before we do the show. I'll go by Walmart and pick it up. Well, on their app, you can check in, not when you get there, but when you get ready to leave to go there.
So they'll have it waiting on you.
Yes. So you check in on your way, and of course my phone said, Walmart's actively tracking your location,
Yeah.
but they're keeping up with where you're at in relation to the store.
Okay.
So they'll make sure to let the store know, hey, this person's on his way.
That's smart.
So time I got back to the back counter,
Yeah.
the guy was in the and our store was in the back. But he's back at the electronics. He saw me. He came up and said, I got to pick up an order. He asked for my name. He said, I got you right here. And he's had to scan it out with his little handheld. And, I mean, we had a little conversation while he was doing that. But, I mean, I was in and out of the store in like 5 minutes.
So my problem there is they put it in the back of the store because
And I told him that. I said, man, if y'all would put this in the front of the store, it'd be so awesome.
yes,
Yeah, right.
but they don't.
But he was agreeing with me. He's like, oh, I'd
Yeah.
love it up there. It would be so nice. But
It's
They
not
want you to
gonna
put
happen.
it there
Well, the way that
pick
store-
something on your way out.
I think a lot of the new stores, they are putting it up front.
They should
But that was kind of...
retrofitted into.
Yes, exactly.
So I have.
But I like
ordered
the fact that
something
you can let them know when you're coming, and they'll have it waiting.
that
on
would
you.
be nice because I've had to wait and wait.
And that's my only complaint I've had with the
wait.
pickup is you have to wait, and
And
then
wait.
you finally get somebody because sometimes they're slow at getting to
Yeah.
you back there. But then they have to go get it out of the back.
Then he had. Not only did he have to go get it out of the back, I almost didn't get the product. They had 35 of them in stock. Whenever I picked it up, he's like, "We have 4 left now." Yeah.
But yeah, you can do now. You can tell them when you're coming when you're on your way, and they'll have waiting on you.
Yeah. And the thing is, I ordered it probably at midnight, maybe
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. I ordered it, and I was like, man, surely they're gonna have this.
Well, they probably didn't pull it till the next morning.
They didn't pull it till I went there and picked it up.
They
Because I
should've-
was like, it's lunchtime. They've got to have this by now.
But you never got the email.
I got it after I picked it up. Hey, your product's ready.
Well, I think that was a one-off case. That's probably not the normal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was a product that I was like, man, I thought about driving up there at midnight, but I was like, let me see if I can order online.
Yeah.
Okay, Guru.
Okay.
So
So
we know Guru is a long-time Mac user.
yeah.
well, still a Mac user.
Yeah, I
That-
know.
That hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed. Still uses a Mac from time to time, but
No, more than time to time.
Okay, more than time to
We'll
time.
get to that.
more than time to time. But Guru had to
Oh, yeah. that's what
upgrade something,
I was like, what do we do?
and shockingly, Guru did not pick a Mac.
No, I did not. I have my reasons.
So what did
Well,
you pick?
let me start at the beginning.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
In the beginning.
So this has been since it was during our Christmas break. After we got off, it was
Right.
mid December. My 27-inch iMac, which I've had for 5-ish years, got up one morning and started using it. There was a line, a vertical line, and I think I sent you a picture of it.
Yes. Yeah.
A vertical line in the screen. I was like, "What is that?" And I turned it off, turned it back on, rebooted it, all that stuff, thinking that's like. And I sent that picture to you. And he's like, "Yeah, something's going out. Either the video graphics adapter or something on the board or something on the display." So I've been kind of like thinking, what am I going to get next? Because I know this thing's getting long in the tooth, but I was going to use it till I couldn't use it. That was my thing. So I was like, I gotta see if I can get rid of this thing before it like goes belly up, and then I'm out of luck.
Right.
And I'd gotten an email a couple of days before from Gazelle. I'd used Gazelle in the past to sell them old iPhones, and they, it's one of those marketing emails. I said, let me see if Gazelle's even will buy this, because I wasn't sure. I knew they bought like phones and tablets and stuff, but they actually will buy back Apple desktops.
Right.
So I figured out what era it was. It tells you, cause you have to put in iMac and you put in what year and all that stuff. Because anyway, so I put in the model I had. It asked for the specs because you can upgrade the RAM of these things. So I put all my specs in. Asked for the condition. I put in the condition. I was truthful with the condition. Put that in. Came back with an offer of $550. This is a 5-year-old desktop. Had a Core 2 Duo processor. I'd upgraded the RAM. The RAM was 36 gigs, I think. I'd maxed out the RAM.
Right.
Old, not even solid state hard drive. Anyway, it got to the point I couldn't do video editing. It was so slow. So I said, I'll send it back to you. And they even paid for the shipping. I had to go get me a box to put it in because I didn't have a box.
Sure.
Usually with Gazelle with phones, they'll send you a box, but this being so large, they don't have a box. So I spent like $20 getting a box. I had to go down to the UPS store to get one that was big enough because I had like the retail box, but I needed something to protect that in transit. So
Right.
got a box, packed it, sent it back. Within a week or so, I had my money. I had a check in hand, $550. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? So I'd already started using my MacBook Air, which was my portable, and you've probably seen it if you watched the video. I've had it. I always take it with me when I go somewhere. So I started using it at home, connect to an external monitor, just as kind of get me by for now until I decide what I'm going to do. Well, I started looking, and I was like, if I get another Mac, it's going to be a MacBook Pro. I'm not going to get another iMac. I already decided I'm not wanting another all-in-one Mac. MacBook Pro, I can dock it. I can hook it up to a monitor, but I also have the portability piece. But the specs I wanted, it was going to be like $3,000. I was like, I don't want to spend that money right now.
Right.
I mean, this MacBook Air, in terms of what I was doing video editing on this MacBook Air, what video editing I do, which is not real intensive, but it's, it still takes some power.
Sure.
It was working fine on that Air. I was like, this is the kind of spec I want, but I don't want to get another one of these. It's kind of like redundant. And my plan long term was the next time I have to replace my portable device, I'm going probably the Microsoft product or a Windows product.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So I said, let me just turn this on end and let me go ahead and just use the Air at the house as my desktop.
Right.
That's really a notebook connected to a monitor, keyboard, mouse.
Sure.
So I pulled the trigger, folks. I know. I hope you're sitting down.
What'd you get, Guru?
I've got a Microsoft Surface Book 2.
Wow.
That's what's right in front
Surface
of me
Book
right now.
2.
That's right.
Bruce was eyeing it over there, trying to figure out if I guess the specs line up with his or
So
something.
I ordered it online, went and picked it up at the Microsoft store in Atlanta.
Changed.
Do what now?
I was trying to figure out what all they've changed as far as the.
Oh, looks similar to yours.
It looks very similar. I was just chassis wise.
Yeah, so I'm
what's been redesigned.
I'm one of those people that have Mac and Windows, which I mean, in my
you're
job I
all
have to
for
use
whatever
Windows.
gets the job done.
That's it. This is a tool,
I know. We talk about
and
that all the time.
I've said before, like there's times I need Windows, and using it in a VM is sluggish and clunky, and doing it in boot camp is inconvenient because you have to actually restart into it.
Sure.
Which it does run better because it's bare metal to the hardware.
Right.
But I just went ahead and said, I've got a Mac at home, so I've got a Mac if I need it. Let me just get a Windows device. Because when I'm on the go, I'm usually using a web browser, Microsoft Office, and that's probably about it.
Okay. So what's your first impressions thus far?
First impressions on the Surface Book,
Yeah.
I think it's very well constructed. It's very Apple-esque in terms of the design and the construction. It's you can tell it's a very well built device. It's not a cheap Dell laptop. No offense to Dell, but some of their stuff is real cheap quality.
Yeah, but they're less priced.
Yeah, but very thin and sleek, which reminds me of my MacBooks that I've had in the past. I really like the feature of, I don't use it a whole lot, but it comes in handy when you can pop off the screen. And not just to pop it off and use it separately, but a lot of times I'll pop it off, turn it around, sit it on my lap where I can use it.
I know what you're talking about.
With the Surface
Pen.
Surface Pen.
Yeah.
The keyboard types very well. I'm kind of finicky with the keyboards.
Sure. Nah.
Yeah, I've said that many times. If you're a long time listener, keyboard types very well. Your performance is good. This is the base model. This is the Core i5.
All right.
8 gigs of RAM. I wish it was 16, but you couldn't get the base one in 16.
In 16, yeah.
But I said it'll be good for what I need. I did bump up the hard drive to 256 solid state instead of the 128. So I did bump that up. It cost another $200 or $300 to do that. But the thing is, 128 is almost useless once you put the OS on there. You have just a little bit of space left. I mean, right now I've got the only thing I've got installed here is Office, and I don't think I have many documents on here. And let me see what I've got. 165 gigs free on a 256.
Right.
So if you took 128 away from that, I'm not good at public math, so I do it on the calculator. That's like 37 gigs. I would really have free if I had a 128. That was just too close for my liking. So I did, I guess you could say, splurge. And do that.
Oh, sure.
And of course, you have to buy the Surface Pencil. That's another $100.
Oh, yeah. It's not a cheap deal.
And I did buy they have, I don't know, Apple calls it Apple Care Plus, whatever, Microsoft Total Protection or whatever.
Sure.
So.
What about, I guess, speed? It seems peppy enough.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm not doing like massive Photoshop. And I talked to a friend that has one, not Bruce, another friend. And he said, well, if you're doing a lot of intense stuff, you get the i7. So I'm not. He said, oh, the i5 is plenty, and it is plenty.
Yeah.
This one has an i3, and it's
now what about?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
So that's base model too from that era.
What about this? What about you? You've noticed a problem when we got here to the Studio B. It seems to slide around.
It does. I have two complaints. On a solid surface like a tabletop or whatever, and I've noticed this at home too. It tends to slide around too much. It has some like silicone rubber kind of feet.
I'm sorry.
It's got to say I'd be shocked.
It's got some feet on the bottom that's supposed to keep, but doesn't really do a good job holding it. At first I was articulating a little thing, but it's not. It's just the nature of it. But I'm gonna have to jerry rig this up somehow and put some little rubber feet on it. I don't want it to move around because it's going. I mean, if you set this like on a kitchen table, it may scratch your table.
Duct tape.
I don't think it'll scratch your table.
Whoa, no. Get that little HomePod Get 4 of those little coasters.
4 of them.
Yeah, and set it on that. It's
for
perfect.
$80.
There you go, 4 of them.
I wonder if some gaff tape would work. I wonder if it's got enough friction.
Oh, you wouldn't want to put that on there. Come
It
on.
won't leave. You pull it off, it won't leave any residue.
No, I know.
I bet you it would.
Not gaff tape won't. Not with the natural rubber.
Well, but it's going to heat up.
I bet you after a while it would.
That might. The
I bet
heat.
you after, if you left it on there for a year and then tried to take it off,
yeah, I don't know.
I've absolutely seen gaff tape leave.
Anyway,
Well, at any rate.
but that's one complaint. The other complaint is the trackpad in terms of like pushing down the click, which you don't have to do that, but I'm so used to doing that. The travel's not very good on that, but if I use it a lot, I'm usually sitting at a counter or at a tabletop, and I'll have a mouse. Which I was telling you this earlier, Michael.
Yes.
I actually using my Apple Magic Mouse with it.
Yeah, okay.
So I got a little Apple S going on with my Surface Book.
Now, tell our listeners the links you went to install that.
Well, it's a Bluetooth mouse, so like you connect it, and Windows will recognize it right away. But the Magic Mouse, the whole top of it is a scroll. You can just take your finger across top, and it'll scroll.
Right, sure.
In a Mac OS environment, not so in Windows. That doesn't work. I'm like,
what are you talking about?
The Apple Magic Mouse.
But listen to this. He came across a unique.
So I've got a mouse that I can only just click. I can't scroll.
Okay.
So okay. So I did some Google searching, and you can go download the Boot Camp drivers for Windows. It's a zip file. Unzip it. There's an exe in one of the folders inside that zip that is the mouse drivers for Boot Camp. I installed that. The whole Magic Mouse works like a champ.
There we go.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So I use my Apple
Just some
Magic
of the
Mouse.
features of the Magic Mouse was not working properly.
Yeah, and
without the drivers.
I had an extra Magic Mouse, and it was going to sit in the desk drawer if I didn't use it. So there's no need to go buy a separate mouse.
I gotcha.
I could have. I almost went and bought a Microsoft mouse. I liked them. I like the. I guess.
Talking about the one that bends?
Not the one that bends. The one that don't bend.
Oh, okay.
I like the ergonomics of that, but I don't want to go spend the money on it. I already spent $100 on a darn pen, plus $50 on this sleeve.
Yeah, you can
because Amazon.com they disappointed me. They were selling sleeves that were for Surface Book 2, but they weren't.
Right, you can drop some cash there.
So I had to go back to the Microsoft store the next weekend.
What do you mean
and spend $50
weren't?
on the sleeve.
Well, listen, we thank you so much for it is. And if you're listening to the Sunday show, I wanted to let you know that in 45 minutes, Mike Paris will be on with Jacksonville State baseball coming up in about 45 minutes from now. So thank you so much for listening. From all of us to all of you, have a fabulous weekend.